Here in Kirov, Russia, it's time for the lead semi-finals in both the men's and women's competition this morning. You can see the athletes there completing their route analysis. We are a couple of minutes behind schedule, but don't worry too much about that. We'll be doing our best to get things up and running as fast as we can. My name's Liam Lonsdale. I will be with you all morning and, of course, all weekend, keeping you up to date with the action, bringing you the best of the competition as it happens. Do my best to tell you what happens as it happens. 18 men, 17 women qualified for this this competition. First up, we will go through the women's starting list. So let's start with that list. The climb in reverse order of qualification. First out will be Aneta Luzheka of the Czech Republic, followed by Polina Obakanova of Kazakhstan, Radka Petkova of Bulgaria. She'll be followed by Alexandra Ovchenkova of Russia, Irina Dubovtseva of Russia, Daria Manina also of Russia, Yulia Filetova of Russia. After that will be Olga Kozek of Poland. Shabnam Asadi of Iran will be out 9th. Anastasia Zazdravnik, Russia, out 10th. Marion Thomas of France out 11th. Zenab Kobru Musavi of Iran, great to see her back, out 12th. Enni Bertling of Finland 13th. Mariam Tolokanina 14th. Mariam Filipova 15th. Valeria Bogdan 16th. And Wonxian Shin 17th. The final four there from Tolokanina to Shin, all topping both of their qualifying routes. Looking at the men's start list, we have 18 men, starting with Roman Kotliar of the Ukraine, Ilya Korochkin from Russia, Pauli Salminen of Finland, Mahdi Tagikani of Iran, Kim Min-chol of Korea, Jongkook Seo of Korea, Artem Bajevsky of Russia, Sergei Tarasov also of Russia, Alexander Karandashev of Russia, Alexei Dengin also of Russia, Alexei Marshallov of Russia, Dmitry Grebenikov of Russia, followed by Nathan Claire of France, Youngun Lee of Korea, Mohammad Reza Safdarian of Iran, and then the top three, Nikolai Kozlovlev of Russia, Maxim Tomilov returning from Russia, and Luna Ladovon of France, all tied for first place with scores of 11.25 and top in the men's qualifying routes. Wherever you're tuned in from, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love it when you get involved. And I will be on my own for the duration of the semi-finals today. So more reason than ever to get involved. You could do so on social media using that hashtag UIAA ice climbing. You can find the UIAA account on UIAA Mountains. Just search the UIAA in any of the social media platforms. And if you'd like to get in touch with me directly and ask me a question directly, it couldn't be easier. You can do so using @Liam Lonsdale. Things will be getting underway in just a few moments' time. See the judges there prepared and ready to go. Last weekend in Oulu, Finland was the European Cup, the final of the European Cup, as well as the World Youth Championships. And Yannick Glattard, who isn't here, won that competition. And it was, I believe, Sina Gertz that won the women's. Yeah, Sina Gertz won that ahead of Vivi Labaril and Ksenia Ivanova. You can see the start of that structure there on the left-hand side of your screen. That's the least steep part of the structure here in Kirov. Kirov on the underside of a old ski jump. You can kind of see the scaffolding work and the structural work at the back of it. Huge, huge ski jump, and the structure continues at about 60 degrees overhanging for the duration. Very, very physical. athletes here required to climb in that almost horizontal terrain for a very long time. Great to see people tuned in on YouTube. Lots of regulars, including some athletes as well, Etienne Poteau and Cora Jury. Good morning to everybody. The man in the grey cap in the middle there is Pavel Shebelin. Pavel is regarded as one of the godfathers of climbing. One of the original founders of competitive ice climbing and very highly respected amongst this community. So we are just waiting for the athletes to come out and climb on those semi-finals routes. Men and women will climb simultaneously. As you look at the screen, the women's route begins on the left. The men's route begins on the right. And I think we can see our first climbers there approaching the wall in the orange helmet. Modest crowd this morning here in Kirov. And you can just make out the archways at the bottom of the structure with the hanging ice barrel. So then immediately a hanging barrel to begin. And there is Aneta Lujeka. Czech athlete, placed placed 7th overall in the European Cup this year. In the overall results, competed in 3 of the rounds, 7th in Domžale, 3rd in Žilina, 18th in Ulu.
Сейчас к прохождению полуфинальных трасс готовятся первые участники. У нас 17 полуфиналистов и 18 мужчин-полуфиналистов. На женской трассе она у нас слева. Готовится к старту Грузецкая Анета, Чешская Республика. На правой трассе дан старт спортсмену из Украины. Это Роман Котляр.
And there's our first climber in the right-hand side in the men's route, bib number 31, Roman Kotliar. And on the left, Aneta Lujeka of Czechia. Here they go.
On the left, the first woman sportsman, Luzecka Aneta, is ready to start. On the right,
The first time we've seen this route climbed. I had a look at the routes before we began. My own preview. And they look good. They look long. You can see the point of the structure where it kicks back much steeper. In the top of the frame there.
Roman Kotliar is the representative of the Ukraine national team.
Roman Kotliar moving leftwards on that Kukunogi ball. Just give you guys some context as well. We're using a different crew here in Kirov. On the cameras, we had our QTV broadcast company following us around for the majority of the season. In Russia, we still use Russian broadcast companies. So it'll be a slightly different feel to the broadcast than what we've had so far. Don't like that detracts from the action though, as Aneta Luzheka moves up towards that first pre-clipped quick draw. Kotliar into that Stein. In fact, it's an undercut. You can see the head of the axe free there.
Итак, у женщин-полуфиналисток для прохождения полуфинальной трассы в дисциплине трудность 7 минут. У мужчин-полуфиналистов для прохождения трудяцкой трассы 8 минут.
About this move. There's a hanging feature. Two. Cautious approach so far. Now, watch Roman Kotliar on the right hand side of the screen. But I'm not sure the taller athletes might want to get to it static. Yeah, okay. So they can reach it static, but then they're going to have to commit. And then they're going to start swinging. There he is, look, swinging in that free hanging position in the figure 4, right hand over left leg. Figure 9, right leg over right hand. And now, cuts loose altogether to get that swing going. You see how what he's trying to do is generate momentum back and forth to then swing up. That's a very tricky move indeed. Very interesting from the root setters. Almost a Tarzan style swing, the backward. Oh, and he's off. His hand's giving up there at clip number 4. And that's game over for Roman Kotliar. Great effort from him. And Aneta Luzheka also off there.
Let's cheer these sportsmen. It is always difficult to start.
Oof, seems to be holding his arm. Very physical moves. So we'll get those athletes out. Our next athletes will be Paulina Abakarova of Kazakhstan in the ladies' route and Ilya Kurochkin in the men's route from Russia. Came 4th in Ulu in the European Cup. So we switch those ropes out and prepare for the next athletes.
На женскую трассу приглашается Аубакирова Полина, Республика Казахстан.
Aubakirova Paulina from Kazakhstan is welcome on the route.
See the questions are already coming in on YouTube, which is great. Thanks to Ragnar for his question. So the question that we have there is, can we explain the difference between this from the rest of the World Cup events? Well, certainly we can explain that for you. On the left there is Polina Abakarova of Kazakhstan, just preparing herself. The difference between the World Championships and the World Cup is that it's a separate event altogether. So the World Cups are a series. This year we had 8 of them. Sorry, no we didn't. We had 6 of them. Started in Cheongsong, went to China, went to Salzfeld, Switzerland, went to Rabenstein in Italy,
Kurechkin Ilya from
went to
Russia
Chamonix,
is
France, and
welcome to
Denver,
start.
Colorado. And those 6 competitions each have their own set of medals and also come with a series of points can be scored across the season. In the season finale, the person with the most points is crowned the overall winner. Hopefully that makes that clear. Then in the World Championship event, it's a separate event altogether, so the athletes basically have to perform on the day, and the best athlete will be crowned winner, world champion. That's that. Each country is allowed to send a quota of athletes. Host countries are allowed to bring a few more, which is why Russia has 8 or 9 athletes in both the men and the women's competition. And yeah, that's the basic difference. Hopefully that answers your question. Greetings to Katerina Sherman, athlete from the USA who's competing in Denver. Good evening.
Kirova Polina has just
Must be
begun to climb
midnight,
the route.
I guess, in Denver now.
Remember that women have
Ilya
7
Kurochkin there on your
minutes
screen,
in
the young Russian.
semifinals, and men have 8 minutes.
Not a name you'll be super familiar with unless you follow the European Cups. And there is Polina Abakarova. Ilya Kurochkin there on the right hand side and Polina Abakarova on the left, both just making it up to clip number 2.
Болельщики, не будем безучастны, нужно поддерживать спортсменов.
And we see Abakarova with the reverse grip.
80 участников.
And actually we should come up with a new name for that because that does mean something else. The handle grip, the axe literally upside down using the handle of the axe on those metal Krukonogi
Let's
pegs.
cheer the sportsmen. Today we
Next
are reading
move there for
80 sportsmen
Ilya
from
Kurochkin.
18 countries.
Very, very tricky. We see he's going to come out to that right hand grip. And so this move where Kurochkin has to take that position, you can see that free hanging triangle above him up on that right hand side. Pulling that bucket over there. Make a technical
Посмотрите за последние годы, сколько интересных и новых элементов появилось на
So
трассе.
this is that really awkward position. We see Kurochkin getting creative with that movement there, going feet up. What he needs to do is
Чемпионата мира по ледолазанию
get that swing going, as we saw Roman Kotliar
В ледолазании две дисциплины – это
a little
трудность
while
и
ago.
скорость.
Let's see if he works this out. Abakarova
In
making
recent
progress on that
years,
Krukonogi
there have appeared so many
metal
new
hold on the
elements
left-hand
on the
side.
route. We are in semi-finals of the World climbing here in Kirov, Russia.
And there we go. Look at that for the first time. We've seen someone stick that now. So Ilya Kurochkin worked it out, managed to get a swing going, using that figure 4 and figure 9 now to make more progress and head up towards clip number 6. Really nice work from him. Needs to take care with that quick draw.
Поболели, друзья мои, поддержите Полину и Илью.
A bucket over now on the left-hand side. A little bit of leg shake. Bit of disco leg going on in the left there. I can tell you that that's probably not due to the cold. It's one of the warmest competitions we've had so far. It's only about -1 degrees Celsius. Fairly mild. Certainly had worse conditions this season.
Аплодисменты для Курочкина Ильи. Российская Федерация Курочкин Илья. И продолжаем болеть за Аубакирову Полину. Переключили внимание на женскую трассу.
Yeah, Hansen's tuned in as well.
Kurochkin Ilya from
Disappointed
Russian
not to have you here, buddy.
Let's continue cheering.
A bucket over now into that steep section. You can see the change in angle and how ferociously steep it becomes. Almost horizontal for these climbers. Men with 8 minutes and 12 clips on their route. 7 minutes for the ladies. 13 clips on their route, so still a long way to go for a bucket over. And that Krukonogi bar with the left hand. Good stability in that tool as she moves up and right.
Женская трасса. Конец контрольного времени.
And a shake in that right leg as well. I think she might have just timed out there.
The women's route, the time is over.
So that's the current high point in the ladies' route. The next athlete, Radka Petkova of Bulgaria, will have a chance to try and beat that. And it looks like we lost Ilya Kurochkin as well there. His score, again, the men's high point. And the next athlete will be Pauli Salminen of Finland.
На мужскую трассу приглашается спортсмен, представляющий Финляндию, Salminen Pauli.
Salminen Pauli is welcome to start climbing. Salminen Pauli from Finland.
На женскую трассу приглашается спортсменка из Болгарии Petkova Radka.
Petkova Radka from Bulgaria is welcome to start.
Pauli Salminen there, tying in on the men's route. One of the taller athletes in the men's circuit. His wife, Emily Bertling, qualified. She'll be competing later on today. Radka Petkova there in the red trousers, another tall athlete. Competed in this circuit a few years back. Took a break to have kids and to take some rest, and now she's back and enjoying competitions more than ever, she tells me. Pauli Salminen checking that he's good to go. You see he starts on that left-hand pillar and then will climb across using that ice barrel up and right. Radka Petkova begins her route there, and Pauli Salminen already making good progress on the right-hand side. Radka Petkova for Bulgaria, Pauli Salminen for Finland.
На женской трассе Петкова Радка, Болгария. На мужской трассе Salminen Pauli, Финляндия.
Oh, and look at that, Pauli Salminen with a very low fall there. Didn't quite see what happened. Looks like top of the pick, perhaps. Pretty sure we don't have replays, unfortunately, this morning, but it's a shame for him. Keep our attention on Radka Petkova now.
Pietkova Radka is on the women's route now. Thank you, Salminen Pauli from Finland.
Reaches up with that left hand to make clip number 2 on that very tenuous position. She's gone onto that Krukonogi peg with the head of her tool as opposed to the handle. If you are just joining us, a very good morning from Kirov, Russia. You're watching the men's and women's lead semi-finals 2019 UIAA Ice Climbing World Championship. On screens is Radka Petkova of Bulgaria. Moving somewhat conservatively on the lower part of this route, but so far not seeming to be troubled by the moves.
На мужской трассе готовится к прохождению трассы Тагихони Махди, Иран.
Tagihoni Mahdi from Iran is getting ready to start.
На женской трассе мы продолжаем наблюдать за выступлением.
So now Bakarova moving up into that steeper section. Looking in good shape so far. Not too troubled by the moves, as I said earlier. Makes clip number 6. third athlete to climb in this women's semi-final. Looking for the best position on that left hand. And goes left leg over left hand into the figure 9. Reaches up with the right hand onto that very small Krukonogi placement. Right leg over right hand into another figure 9. And these 4s and 9s really crucial in this steeper terrain. Need to move fast. Keep that movement clean as well, so as to save energy. Root setter's really cruel here with consecutive metal placements, which, while they look positive, offer almost zero friction for these climbers and basically no security. Next athlete there for the men is Mahdi Tagakhani of Iran. Beginning his attempt, men's semi-final route. First time we've seen him this season. Certainly a semi-final at least. Left hand with right leg over the top for the figure 4. Radka Petkova moves out through this very, very steep panel towards clip number 8. Confident movement so far from Petkova. Takes a second to shake out. Out to that hanging ice barrel. First time we've seen any of the climbers get up to this position. You can see in her face she's starting to get really pumped. Throws that right leg over the right hand, and she's out of there. Really good effort from Radka Petkova of Bulgaria. It's the women's high point so far. Second. There is Mahdi Tagakhani on that intellect hold. It's interesting this year with the prominence of those Krukonogi pegs and the Krukonogi hooks, which used to be the athlete's worst nightmare. They're now saying that the intellect holds are a welcome relief after these really, really tricky Krukonogi holds. So interesting to see how standards change season after season. Moves out there to make clip number 5, and we get to that next technical section with the somewhat gymnastic feature. Reach down with the right hand to then stand up high, and you can see that hanging volume over his right hand shoulder. Just to reach back and out to that and get that swinging to then move up. Just in the very top right hand corner of your screen you can see a red hole. That's where he's going for. Let's see how Tagakhani works this one out, see what he makes of this move. Yeah. Got his axe stuck there, a little tricky moment for him, needs to... having some real trouble. Looks like he's freed his axe there, and I'll have to see whether or not the judges allow him to have let go like that. I remember Wunxian Shin got called for that in Durango, Colorado, back in 2017. Her axe got stuck and held on the rope, and It wasn't on the structure, therefore it was deemed that she'd let go of the tool and it had dropped even though it hadn't actually hit the floor. So we'll have to wait and see if the judges call that. I believe it was the same president of the jury, the judges as well, Carlos Teixeira, so we'll see what he makes of that. Nevertheless, he's been allowed to climb on, as Won Shin was. Could have wasted a lot of energy there. Nope, looks like he's being called down. I'm pretty sure that'll be for the axe drop.
Аплодисменты для Тагихони.
Somewhat bemused Mahdi Tagikani, but he'll have that rule explained to him why he was called down. Waiting for our next female climber.
Овченкова Александра, Российская Федерация.
Ovchenkova Alexandra is welcome to the start of women's track.
There is our next female athlete, which is Alexandra Ovchenkova, first female Russian athlete. There is Alexandra Ovchenkova of Russia. If you are just joining us, a very warm welcome to Kirov. You're watching the lead semi-finals in the men and women's competition, the 2019 UIAA Ice Climbing World Championships.
На женской трассе Сан-Старт участница. Участница представляет Российскую Федерацию. Это Овченкова Александра.
Ovchenkova Alexandra, the representative of Russian Federation, has tried the start of the track.
На мужскую трассу приглашается следующий участник соревнований Ким Мин Чоу, Корея.
Kim Min-cho, the representative of Korea, is
Shankova
welcome
in
at
that
the start.
stein with the right hand, moves up with the left onto that first Kukunogi hook. While she's climbing, our next men's athlete will be getting ready. Min-chol Kim of Korea is our fifth male climber. Men and women are climbing simultaneously this morning. Women have 7 minutes and 13 clips. Men have 8 minutes and 12 clips. And there is Min-chol Kim of Korea.
На мужской трассе готовится к старту Ким Мин Чол, Корея.
Kim Min-chol, the representative of Korea.
You can see him beginning his route on the lower left-hand, the lower right-hand side, and on the upper left-hand side is
Напомню собравшимся, что у
Alexander
женщин, у
Ovchenkova.
финалистов 7 минут для прохождения трассы.
Matched in on that
У
orange
мужчин,
hold
у
with the
финалистов
Stein with the left hand
8
and
минут.
We remind you that
sideways Stein with the right.
7 minutes to complete the route. Men have 8 minutes.
Guarda il mio cuore è unico, non come fosse solo un caso clinico. Lascia che il sole sciolga un po' il gelo, che riscaldi un po' il mio cuore sotto il zero, che un po' dietro la tua mente. E ti ripeto calma, sii paziente, sei già un passo da me.
Moves up with the left hand into that Krukanogi side pull. Powerful position to be in as she then reaches over herself. There's clip 4. Into that undercut position and steps rightwards. Into that Krukanogi bar. You can see clip 5 there. The wind picking up now here in Kirov. Both climbers almost side by side. Oh, little pop there for Kim Min-chol.
Так, друзья, работают одновременно обе трассы. Женская слева и мужская справа. На женской трассе Овченкова
And
Александра.
Alexandra
На мужской трассе
Ovchenkova
спортсмены из
stands up into the steeper section now, that horizontal break. Big change of angle. On that intellect hold, moves up with the left hand. And Min-chol Kim reaches out with that left hand onto the
Kim Min-chol is on the
hanging, swinging feature.
There are participants from 18 countries on this competition.
Current high point of 8.2 set by Radka Petkova. Being chased down by Ovchenkova. Kim Min-chol trying to work out exactly what to do with this swinging volume. Interestingly, he's placed a toe hook with that right foot over the hold. Trying to take some of that weight off his hands. Really struggling to find the correct orientation to get that swing going.
Наши аплодисменты
Alexandra Ovchenkova finishes her route at clip number 7. Min-Cho Kim still with just over 3 minutes on the clock. Desperately trying to work out what to do here. All that time on his hands, he's going to be getting more and more tired, fatigue setting in, more pumped. Really needs to make a move here. You can see that he's starting to work out that he might have to get a swing going. Just not managing to get any momentum at all. Min-Cho Kim really having trouble now.
Друзья, поддержим, поддержим.
Still there. Min-Cho Kim been on this hanging feature for several minutes now. Just not been able to work out what he needs to do to get off it, or if he has worked it out, he's not been able to do anything about it. Oh, and he's getting closer, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. This is a real test of fitness here for the Korean.
На женской трассе готовится к старту Дубовцева Ирина, Российская Федерация.
Dubovtseva Irina is getting ready at the start of the women's route.
And that's game over for Min-Cho Kim.
Аплодисменты корейскому спортсмену за нелегкую спортивную борьбу. Еще, друзья, давайте, Корея. На женской трассе начала прохождение трассы Дубовцева Ирина, Российская Федерация.
Dubovtseva Irina, the representative of Russian Federation, has started.
Very tired. Min-Cho Kim, and no doubt very frustrated. Min-Cho Kim, who got stuck on that hanging feature. Our next athlete, Irina Dubovtseva of Russia, begins her route.
Бесконечно. До 50% на оборудование при подключении спутникового ТВ от МТС с расширенным пакетом каналов. 210 каналов по уникальной цене 195 рублей в месяц.
На мужскую
26
трассу
каналов с кино и сериалами.
приглашается следующий участник
35
полуфинальных
HD-каналов и
соревнований.
многое другое.
Синьянко, Корея.
С расширенным
The next
пакетом каналов
participant
и получите скидку до 50%.
final, Seo Young-kook, the representative of Korea, is waiting on the
And so there is Irina Dubovtseva.
Когда у вас увеличивается скорость интернета, это легко не заметить. Просто вы перестаете ждать, пока скачиваются фильмы или отправляются файлы. Вот если
Little pop there with that right hand, but Dubovtseva manages to recover and continues. She's moving really quickly, actually. Nice to see some quick footwork coming into play here.
скорость, а не цена. Присоединяйтесь. Увеличена потенциально возможная максимальная скорость интернет-канала в рамках услуги домашний интернет на некоторых тарифных планах. Подробности на сайте dom.mds.ru.
Стаку.
She's moving very quickly on this route, not hanging around at all. There's our next men's athlete, another Korean, Jungkook Seo. Number 13. His 8 minutes has begun. We're now through 6 athletes and the men, and on the screens is Irina Dubovtseva, and she's our 5th athlete in the ladies competition. Almost a third of the way through here. Dubovtseva very fast at this point, reaches down on the rope to make clip number 8. If she can make clip 9, then she'll go into first place ahead of Radka Petkova. Hits that right foot up into the figure 9. Oh, and she's popped. That wasn't expected. She'd been moving so well, perhaps trying to fight the cold. A lot of time still left on the clock. Able to recover. Great effort nonetheless. There's Jungkook Seo.
На женской трассе закончила выступление Дубовцева Ирина, Российская Федерация. Друзья, давайте поаплодируем еще раз.
American athlete climbing up.
On the men's route, Seo Young-kook from Korea. Dubovtseva Irina has finished her attempt.
Past that pre-clipped quick draw. And Irina Dubovtseva goes into second. Whoa, look at that! He is out of there. That happened very quickly. Will we get a replay of that one? Down and flying through the air. It's the end of Jungkook Seo's attempt.
Закончил выступление Сео Янгкок.
Cheers to Seo Young-kook from Korea. He has finished his attempt.
Next athlete in the men's competition will be Russian climber Artem Bajevsky.
На женскую трассу
Female athlete will be Daria Menina,
участница полуфинальных
both of which we've seen
соревнований
on
в
this tour,
дисциплине трудность.
or rather on the tour this season. Tour finished in Denver, Colorado last week, or rather 2 weeks ago, and you can find all of those live results from the competition so far online. So for a moment we have no climbers as we wait for our next athletes to get out there and get tied in. As I said, Daria Menina next on the bottom left hand side of your screen. You can see her appearing. The next male athlete will be Artem Bajevsky.
На мужскую трассу приглашается к старту Базевский Артем, Российская Федерация.
Brazevsky Artyom from Russian Federation is waiting at the start of the men's route.
And so Menina tied in and ready to go. Just removes her jacket. And there she goes. Begins this women's route. Both feet in that ice barrel as she presses up with the right hand into the stein. Menina, one of the tallest female athletes of the competitors here. Reaches over herself with the right hand to place the tool into that intellect hold. Artem Bajevsky on the screen begins his route. Another stein there for Menina, who is moving somewhat slowly compared to Irina Dubovstova, who was out before her. The 6 athletes that we've had in the men's competition so far. Russian Ilya Kurochkin is our first place male. Only reached clip 6 of 12, but it's still enough to keep him in that position for now. Of course, we still have 11 men to climb after Artem Bajevsky, who's on your screen right now. Bajevsky finished 22nd in the overall rankings of the 2019 World Cup. Placed 16th in Switzerland, 18th in Ravenstein, and 11th in Champagny. Menina on the left-hand side in all black, Bajevsky on the right-hand side in red and beige.
Так, мы с вами наблюдаем за упорной борьбой на обеих трассах. Работают одновременно женская и мужская полуфинальные трассы. На женской трассе Минина Дарья. Российская Федерация. Спортсменка представляет город
Menina now into the steeper section. Brzezski on the hanging block, currently committed only on one hand. Nicely throws that figure 4 into the figure 9. And now needs to get the swing going. Menina now making good progress up to clip number 8, which is the current high point. Brzezski using his hands on that volume there, just trying to find those best positions. And Menina making good progress now. Will she make clip number 9? Brzezski still trying to find some momentum to reach that next hold, which hangs on the underside above him. See the red hold is his target. And if Menina can make this clip, that'll put her into provisional first place. Oh, she's off. She'll be tied there with Radka Petkova.
Итак, это была Минина Дарья.
Still going.
Российская Федерация. Еще раз громко аплодисментов, друзья мои. И продолжаем болеть за Базекского Артема. На трассе инструмент, на
Caused
женской
the
трассе
athletes
инструмент.
had a lot of problems so far this move. Just not able to get the height that he needs. Desperately swinging those legs backwards and forwards. And he's climbed back down. And he's climbed back down for a rest, but as we know, reversing moves is somewhat controversial and can often lead to being penalised, but I believe what he did there was actually fine. Need to check. Oh, looks like he was going for a jump there. Reaches over himself again with that left hand. And the clock ticks down. Will he manage to find that swing this time?
На женскую трассу приглашается следующая участница полуфинальных соревнований дисциплины трудность Филатьева Юлия, Российская Федерация.
Has a little bit of momentum, but didn't quite get enough of a swing. Now he's got the right idea. Perhaps wishes he did that first time. And he has the right momentum, but it looks like the wrong direction, and it looks like waning strength in those arms. photographer watching on somewhat helplessly, and that's the end of that. Good effort from Brzezski. Too little too late when it came to the swing. In a tricky position.
На мужской трассе закончил выступление Артем Базевский, Российская Федерация. Молодцы у меня болельщики сегодня, прям отрадно слышать. Филейка зашел. Пора на земле уходить.
Next athlete is Yulia Filatova of Russia. That's her on the screen there, wearing bib number 71.
Российская Федерация.
Filativa Yulia has just started his tournament.
На мужскую трассу приглашается к старту Тарасов Сергей, Российская Федерация.
Tarasov Sergey from Russian Federation is welcome on the road.
Filatova moves up off that intellect hold onto the Krukonogi peg with the right hand. One of the younger athletes on the tour was competing in the Youth World Championships. Placed 5th in Oulu, Finland in the under-19s category. Ukrainian Victoria Holub winning that category ahead of Irina Dubotsova, who was just competing. From the Youth World Championships to the Senior World Championships. And there's our next athlete in the men's competition, the Albatross, Sergei Tarasov.
Так, ну, друзья, что-то у нас
Heading towards clip number 8, which is still the high point.
Филатова Юлия на женской трассе. На мужской трассе Тарасов Сергей. Оба спортсмена из Российской Федерации.
Filativa Yulia is on the women's route and Tarasov Sergey
Tarasov
on the men's route.
getting to grips with that first move. There it is. Now, Will Yulia Filetova be able to make this clip? If she does, that'll put her into provisional first place after 7 athletes. Oof, just struggling there to get it actually in. She had the rope. See, she's suffering with cold hands, probably a little bit of pump as well. Oh, and she's off. Oh no, another climber that falls foul, just short of clip number 9. Great effort from her. She was so close to making that clip. Oh, what a nightmare. I thought she had it. Sadly not. Would have put her into provisional first place. Should probably be tied for first place now, I believe. Wait for that result to refresh. I'll be able to tell you. Tarasov now moving upwards through this structure that he's so familiar with.
лучших спортсменов мира. 18 стран, 80 сильнейших участников. Болеем за Тарасова Сергея Харитоновича.
Tarasov straight up there with the figure 4 and gets that swing going. Look at the momentum on that immediately. Now he needs to try and keep that momentum. Starting to slow a little, but can he keep it moving?
HD каналов и многое другое. Подключайте спутниковое ТВ от МТС с расширенным пакетом каналов и получите скидку до 50%.
You see the momentum's completely stopped now for Tarasov, who has a tricky situation now. Needs to get a swing going again so that he can reach up and right and hit that next hold.
Увеличена потенциально возможная максимальная скорость интернет-канала в рамках услуги домашний интернет на некоторых тарифных планах. Подробности на сайте dom.nts.ru.
Really struggling at this point. Just becomes a battle against gravity. He's starting to get a little bit of a swing going again, but in the wrong direction. Question is, will he have enough in the bank to reach up for that next hold? There's your next athlete. This time it's Poland's Olga Kozek. Had a great World Cup season. Swing almost stopping again there for Tarasov. Really needs to figure something out. Less than a minute on the clock. He looks to reach back to generate more momentum, but it's just not happening for him. And that's going to be game over for Tarasov, I think, as he kicks his legs one last time. Oldest athlete in this semi-finals. In fact, the oldest athlete in this World Championship. Put up a good fight, but sadly, it's just not the day for him. So many athletes now getting caught up at that point. Score for those athletes, 5.14. There is Olga Kozak of Poland. Just over 5 minutes remaining on the clock for her as she moves up towards clip number 5. High point in the ladies, still clip 8. Yulia Filatova in provisional first place ahead of Daria Menina and Radka Petkova, who all made that same spot.
На женской трассе продолжает выступление польская спортсменка Ольга Kozak. Друзья, поддерживаем спортсменов, поддерживаем. Дружим с странами много лет.
Kozak Olga from Poland continues.
Kozak with plenty of time on the clock makes clip number 6. And there's clip 7, and you can see clip 8 above her, which is the high point so far. Yulia Filatova very, very close to making clip 9, but couldn't quite get it together.
На мужскую трассу приглашается к старту Карандашев Александр, Российская Федерация.
Karandashev Alexander from Russia Federation is welcome on the route.
И на площадке раздался шквал аплодисментов. Да никогда еще впереди не пропускала ни одно нормальное спортивное состязание. И болеть она умеет, да, Филиппа? Отлично. Аплодисменты
And
для
Kozak,
Ольги
who
Kozak, спортсменка из польской
got her foot a little tangled in the draw as she went through to that figure 9.
упорно тренируется и представляет
Just wasn't able to hold again, and another athlete
важных
falls
спортивных состязаниях во всем мире.
at that ice barrel. She's smiling,
A big storm of
which is always a good sign.
for Kozak Olga from Poland.
But that's not going to be enough to put her into provisional first place, I don't believe. That left tool still being on the hold below.
На мужской
Oh no, she
трассе
did remove it.
готовится к
We'll see.
Александр.
Possibly enough to get her into provisional first place. Definitely in the top 3.
Karandashev Alexander is going to start his route.
Так, друзья мои, не расслабляемся. Пока звучит такая плавная и нежная мелодия, кто вчера не успел дам пригласить потанцевать, вполне может сделать это здесь и сейчас на площадке спортивного
There's your next
комплекса.
male athlete, this time Alexander Karandashev. First time we've seen him this year in the World Tour. Next female athlete out will be Shabnam Asadi of Iran.
Следующая участница полуфинальных соревнований в дисциплине трудность — это Асади Шабнам, Иран.
Asadi Shabnam from Iran is welcome on the route.
Karandashev moves decisively through those lower moves. Big reach out with that left hand onto the Krukonogi ball. Very low friction position. Makes clip number 2. Clip 3 made as he reaches up with that left hand into that intellect hold. Goes backhand into that difficult undercut there. Backhand again to make clip number 4. Now, this move has caused many athletes many problems. Only Ilya Kurochkin, the under-19's 8th place in Ulu, has managed to get through that section. Interesting technique from Karandashev, who goes one-handed into the very aggressive swing. And that's a really nice technique. Just needs to keep that momentum now. And of course the rope drag slows that momentum down with every time it pulls the rope through. Right now he's not pointing in the right direction. Oh, and he's hit it really nice. Excellent work there from Karandashev. Kicks hard into the underside of that structure. Can breathe a sigh of relief. Making clip number 6, will put him into contention for that first position. Shabnam Asadi of Iran climbing now on that ladies route. Things are starting to hot up here. 7 more female climbers remaining after Asadi. 8 more climbers remaining in the men's. Into the intellect hold. So now, on that intellect hold, clip 7 above him. Tricky lip to step over. He's got that shoulder position and looks really good in it. Makes the clip, really nice work. That puts him into provisional first place now. With only 8 climbers remaining, that's good contention for a finals position. Well, at the same time, we do know we have 8 very strong men to follow. After him, Alexei Dengin, followed by Alexei Marshallov, Dmitry Grebenikov, Naton Clare, Youngun Lee, Rezasav Darian, Nikolai Kuzovlev, Maxime Tomilov out of retirement, and Luna Ladovon. Shabnam Asadi at clip number 6 there in the women's route. Karandashev now in that upper ice barrel. 8 clips made. And of course, interesting there because the athletes on this ice barrel have to actually make their own placements. They have to swing their axes into the ice, which is relatively uncommon in the competitions. The only other swinging that we really see, or forced swinging, is in Sasfei on the logs. Karandashev stepping leftwards now onto that tricky Gaston. Lay back in on that Krukanogi plate. Climbing really well here. Oh no, he's popped, but great work. Nice effort from Karandashev, who goes into first place. Relatively unknown on the World Cup circuit for the last few years. Kirov breeds them very strong indeed. Big sigh of relief there for him, as he was just told, I imagine, that he's now in first place. And there's Shabnam Asadi. And if she can make that clip, she'll go into first place. So close to making it. You can see she wanted to use the thumb on her left hand, but didn't quite have enough to just release it. Makes one extra move higher. Excellent work from Shabnam Asadi, who now has the high point on the ladies' route. Goes into provisional first place. Only 8 climbers remaining after her. So again, puts her into a really good, solid position for the finals. Lots of strong women still to climb, but going into first place with those athletes, if we account for a mistake or two from someone else, then that could be a finals position for her. She'll need to do everything she can now to cement the best possible attempt that she can.
Женская трасса, конец контрольного времени.
Спутниковое ТВ от МТС с расширенным
Asadi
пакетом каналов и получите скидку до
has just finished
50%
your
на
route.
оборудование.
She's in all sorts of tangles there as she tries to release her tools. Believe that she timed out.
Get down, please.
Just trying to get that left axe out. There it goes.
Аплодисменты для спортсменки из Ирана, Асади Шабнам.
Shabnam Asadi now provisional first place in the women's competition.
На мужскую трассу к старту приглашается Дингин Алексей, Российская Федерация.
Dingin Alexei from Russia is welcome on the route.
If you are just joining us, very good morning from Kirov, Russia. You are watching live the 2019 UIAA Ice Climbing World Championships. It's the men's and women's lead semi-finals. We have had 9 females climb and 9 men climb. Eight more ladies to climb, 9 more men. My name is Liam Lonsdale. It's my pleasure to be with you here this weekend to bring you the best of the action. If you want to get in touch with us, couldn't be easier. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, then drop us a message in the chat box. If you're watching on one of the many channels, including the Extreme channel, then a very good morning and a very warm welcome to you guys. You can also contact me directly. Use @Liam Lonsdale on any of the social media platforms. It's great to have you all on board. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, then why not share the broadcast or drop a name in the comments. Show your friends, family, whoever, colleagues perhaps. This competition, very special event. We'll be live tomorrow with all of the finals. We have speed and lead finals tomorrow. Subscribe on YouTube or like the Facebook page to be notified of when we do go live with those competitions. You can also find out the times in your local time by clicking on the UIAA YouTube channel. All the scheduled broadcasts are on there, and that gives it you in your local time rather than me trying to extrapolate all those times out. That's the way to do it. The next athlete on your screen, Russia's Anastasia Zazdravnik, bib number 68 in the lilac trousers. In the men's competition will be Alexei Dengin in just a few moments' time. One of the great characters of this tour. Excited to see what he brings to this semi-final. There he is, on the left-hand side of the screen.
На женской трассе готовится к выступлению участница полуфинальных соревнований в дисциплине «Трудность» Заздравных Анастасия, Российская Федерация. На мужской трассе готовится к старту Дингин Алексей, Российская Федерация.
Zazdravnik Anastasia from Russian Federation is getting ready to start climbing. On the men's route, Dingin
Zazdravnik
Alexei is also getting ready to start.
begins her female semi-finals route now, as does Dengin. Somewhat synchronized. Dengin in orange trousers, Zazdravnik in the lilac trousers. Here they go. After finishing overall second in the World Cup Tour last year, Dengin Dropped down to 10th this year. Really didn't quite have the performances he was hoping for. You know, I had many a chat throughout the season, and he said he certainly wasn't giving up, and giving him inspiration to keep fighting and keep trying and try and work out exactly what's changed and how he can come back stronger. Finished 4th in Korea. Finished 19th in China. 15th in Switzerland, 12th in Italy, 18th in France, 5th in the USA. Zdravnik. We had at the European legs of the competition in Sosfay and Rabenstein, where she finished 20th and 12th respectively. And there goes Dengin with that aggressive style, moving very decisively at those initial moves to make clip number 4, and we know that he likes to jump and we know he likes to swing. Let's see how he fares on this move. Zdravnik moving up into the powerful and technical section where she needs to reach over herself for that intellect hold. Easily makes that move. And there's Dengin on the right hand side. Starts with a figure 9. And gets the swing going straight away. Times the rotation perfectly. Look at that, such a pro. Into the figure 4, left leg over right hand. Switches into that figure 9. Back to a 4 to make clip number 6. Excellent work from Dengin now. Being asked what the temperatures are like here. -2 today, degrees Celsius. -2 degrees Celsius, about 28 degrees Fahrenheit. So Zdravnik, clip number 6 now. The current high point is clip 9, set by Shabnam Asadi a few moments ago. Reaches out behind her to make that next clip, and you can see the ice barrel a few moves ahead of her. That's been the real crux for the female athletes thus far. Dengin in the background there, moving really well through the upper middle part of this route. Still lots of climbing to go. So Zdravnik makes clip number 8. Dengin makes clip number 9. strong performance from both athletes so far. And this is that tricky ice barrel position for the female athletes. So Zdravnik trying to work her way around it. Dengin, oh, misses the jump. Had a gap there ahead of him to bridge. Loaded up with that right hand. He just missed it. Perhaps didn't need to be quite so aggressive with the jump. But he's in provisional first place now. Should be enough to see him through. We'll have to wait and see. So Zdravnik with clip 9 made now. Tied in a position with Shabnam Asadi. Who's timed out there on that ice barrel. Next athletes in the men's competition will be Alexei Marshallov, also of Russia. The women's competition from France, Marion Thomas.
Женская трасса, инструмент на трассе.
Waiting for these next athletes to join us.
Так, друзья, наверху, на женской трассе
Local crowd here watching and waiting for those next athletes. Waiting for these next athletes, Marshallov and Thomas, to join theirs. Marielle Thomas. Isolation's quite a walk actually
Ребят, все, да?
from the competition venue.
На женскую трассу
100 meters
приглашена
away.
следующая участница полуфинальных соревнований в дисциплине трудность Томас Марион, Франция.
Thomas Morin from
Marielle Thomas finished second in Ulu European Cup last weekend. Actually finished second overall in the European Cup Tour, behind Sina Goetz. Come from strength to strength over the past few years. Let's see how she does here. Kirov.
На мужской трассе готовится к прохождению трассы Маршалов Алексей, Российская Федерация.
Marshal Alexei from Russian Federation is getting ready to start.
See her there just fiddling with a harness. I believe that she has a stopwatch on a harness. A lot of the athletes do that with a countdown timer. Gives them an indication of when they have often a certain number of minutes and then 1 minute left, especially since they ditched the 1 minute call this season. Tomas moving quickly out the gates here. Places the right hand into that intellect hold. Matches in with the left. Uses the handle on that Krukonogi peg. Good Stein with the left. Nice double clip there up to number 3. Really smart movement so far from Marion Tomas as she takes that small Krukonogi metal edge with the left hand, matches in with the right to reach out again with the left. Climbing very confidently so far. This is exactly what we want to see from the young Frenchwoman. There's Alexei Marshalov. Bit of a dark horse, this guy. Very quiet. Keeps himself to himself, but when he's on that wall, he's an absolute crusher. Look at the speed on Tomas already. She's so fast there. Clip 5 made. Takes a moment to breathe as she approaches this next steep section. Allez, Marion. Teammate Cora Jarry is tuned in. Bonjour, Cora. Shame that she's not here competing alongside her. Marion having to do all the hard work for France. Certainly for France's women this weekend. She's more than capable. Kicks into the underside of that triangular volume. There's clip 7 made. Big reach up with the backhand into that next Krukonogi side pull position. There's clip 8 made. She's really flying up the lower part of this route. She approaches the side barrel, takes a second to shake, and you can see on the clock there 3 minutes 15 seconds remaining. Alexei Marshalov on the bottom of your screen for a moment looked very, very strung out on that swinging move. Clip 9's made. She can make clip 10, then she's already in first place with only 7 women remaining. That will be her through to the finals. A little bit of rotation on that hold there. And she's got that next clip in, which puts her into first place now.
Болеем, 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 друзья! У женщин-участниц 7 минут для того, чтобы преодолеть препятствия трассы. У мужчин 8 минут.
Into that very small intellect hold with the left tool, figure 4. Oh, she's off! Smiles to the crowd.
Франция! Аплодисменты, друзья мои! Давайте
Just watch what happened there.
Вдруг тоже во
She
Францию
kicked
ехать,
in,
да, нужно готовиться.
put that left leg over the, rather the right leg over the left hand, and it just popped off there. It's so fast. Before she could do anything about it.
Переключаем внимание на мужскую трассу.
Brilliant
Там
effort.
продолжает выступление
Provisional first place there from Marion Thomas.
Просто вы перестанете ждать, пока скачиваются
A guaranteed place in the finals. Alexei Marshallov did make that move by the looks of things, and now swings very aggressively up into
домашний интернет от МТС. Растет скорость, а не
that hanging ice barrel.
увеличена потенциально возможная максимальная скорость интернет-канала в рамках услуги домашний интернет на некоторых тарифных планах. Подробности на сайте dom.mts.ru.
Marshallov moving really well now. Left that axe behind in the ice there. Makes the clip. And what's he going to do? Needs to retrieve it. He's ever so close.
На женскую трассу приглашается к старту представительница Иранской республики Мусави Зейнаб Кобра.
Musavi Zainab Kobra from Iran is welcome to start.
He's having real trouble stopping that swing and the spin. Looks like he's got it. Excellent work there from Marshallov.
Ну, поболели, поболели, друзья мои, поболели за Люху. Где-то там у нас была дудка, да вот она, вот мы слышим призывный звук дудки. Давайте, давайте за Алексея. Надо.
There's clip 10. Marshallov now in provisional first place. Beckoning. Marshallof's time running down. Doing a great job, and only one more clip for him on this route. Excellent effort from Alexei Marshallov, who does seemingly get tired on that final move after fighting so hard to retrieve his axe.
Алексей, Российская Федерация.
Superb effort from the Russian climber, who is in provisional first place now.
Начала выступление Мусави Зейнаб Кобра. Республика Иран. Напомню, что 18 стран прислали своих сильнейших спортсменов.
Next athlete in the men's competition will be
Чемпионате мира по ледолазанию в городе
Dmitry
Кирове.
Gabennikov.
Musavi
right now, we can turn our attention to bib number 89, Iran's Zeynep Kobramousavi.
Athletes from more than 80 countries has come to take part in the World
Multiple times
Championship.
finalist in these World Cups. Excited to see how she fares in the World Championships this weekend. Moving quickly through those first moves.
Друзья мои, наше внимание от женской трассы не ослабевает. Продолжает выступление
Shabnam
Мусави
Asadi approaching the next
Республика Иран. Давайте, друзья,
set of moves.
спортсменок из Ирана нужно вдвойне
And what we've seen are
Девчонки своими достижениями в спорте борются за права женщин.
some very tricky sequences, but nothing too taxing for the women.
Is continuing climbing. Let's cheer her.
Moves up into that next position, into that Krukonogi hook. Zeynep Mousavi moving really well now onto that ice barrel. Marion Thomas with the current high point in the ladies' competition. Alexei Marshalov with the current high point in the men's.
На мужскую трассу приглашается к старту следующий
If she can
участник
make
будет
this next clip, it's going to
Гребенников
put her into the top
Дмитрий,
three.
Российская Федерация.
Grebeninkov Dmitry from Russian Federation is
It's caused a lot of athletes problems, this one. Oh, no! Including Mousavi, who's currently inverted, but rectifies the situation.
Для спортсменки из Ирана Мусави Зейнап Кобра.
Seems this clip's been a real challenge.
Cobra from Iran.
Not able to just hold that position quite long enough. We'll have a look at the provisional results and see where that puts her. Looks like she's going to be in fourth position so far. As I said, first place Marion Thomas. In fact, let's do a quick look at those scores. First place Marion Thomas, second place Anastasia Zazdravnik, third place Shabnam Asadi, fourth place Zeynep Kobramousavi, fifth place Olga Kozak, sixth place Yulia Filateva, seventh place Daria Menina, and eighth place Radka Petkova so far. in the men's competition, the results look like this. First place so far is Alexei Marshallov, second place Alexei Dengin, third place Alexander Karandashev, fourth place Ilya Kurochkin, fifth place Sergei Tarasov, sixth place Artem Bzhezhsky, seventh place Minchol Kim, and eighth place is Mahdi Tarikhani. Expect both sets of results to change somewhat as the final few athletes climb. As I mentioned in the women's competition, we still have 5 more remaining: Enni Bertling, Maria Tolokanina, Mariam Filipova, Valeria Bogdan and Unsun Shin. The men's competition, we still have 7 remaining: Dmitry Grebenikov, Nathan Clare, Youngun Lee, Mohamed Reza Safdarian, Nikolai Kozlovlev, Maxim Tomilov and Runa Ladovon. On your screen right now in the grey pants and green helmet is Dmitry Grebenikov. Let's see what he makes of this men's semi-finals route. And so Grebenikov moves quickly up towards clip number 4 with that tricky swinging volume, and Enni Bertling tying in on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Grebenikov reaches up to make clip 5. Let's see what he makes of this. One of the tallest athletes, certainly the heaviest athlete. Could be able to get a lot of momentum going if he can start that swing strong. Question is, has he read the route right? Reaches up with the left hand.
Bertling Enni from Finland is getting ready to start on the women's route.
And there goes Enni Bertling. And Grebenikov's feet have popped without starting a swing. Now that could be problematic for him. As I've said a few times, we've seen athletes really struggling on this move. Luckily, he's got long enough legs to just get going on his own. Just trying to work out the best position for this next move. You see switching between those 4s and 9s, causing him to spin a little, and that's making it difficult for him to reach that next hold. Puts the figure 4 in, left leg over right hand. Enni Bertling on that left-hand side, moving up now towards clip 3.
Давайте, друзья, да, надо поболеть. Вот это тот момент, когда наша поддержка нужна спортсмену. Давайте, нужно эмоции немножко туда наверх отправить для того, чтобы спортсмен почувствовал эту силу и нашу любовь к этому виду спорта.
С такой скидкой можно смотреть бесконечно. До 50% на оборудование при подключении спутникового ТВ от МТС с расширенным пакетом каналов. 210 каналов.
Grebenikov really struggling to find that hook. He's ever so close to it, but just not able to get the placement so far. All that time over 85 kilos hanging off one hand.
50% на оборудование.
He's going to be feeling the fatigue for sure. He's got it finally. Excellent work. Now he really needs to find some pace, some more momentum to get him into the upper part of this route. Puts the left leg over the right hand for the figure 4 to make clip number 6. There it is. And Emily Bertling on the left hand side now. You see both climbers still have a long way to go. Bertling on the left in that Krukonogi hook, matches in on the high grip with the left hand to make clip number 7. George Joseph, a question for us which says, can a previous clip be used to assist the swinging, like hooking it with the tool? The answer to that is no. The athletes may not hook the clips at any point. They may only use the clips to clip. That's it. If they put their tools in anything other than a hold, then they're breaking the rules. The judges with their eagle eyes will shoot them. No, they will ask them to come down. We don't quite have capital punishment yet in ice climbing. Maybe one for the future. Enli Bertling now climbing up towards that 9th clip. Grebennikov now into the lower part of the ice barrel. Fresh ice barrel for every athlete. Manages to get that tool placement second time with the right hand. As I said before, it's great to see athletes having to swing into the ice. It's really quite uncommon. Oh, and Grebennikov's off. See what happened there. So his left leg was kicked in. I reckon that right hand gave up as he went to clip. It did. Nightmare. Just as he was about to clip, hand gave up. But great effort nonetheless. That's going to put him into second place. Oh, Enli Bertling pops with the right hand off that Krukonogi hook. Holds the left hand on the intellect hold. Oh, and she's off. Oh, no. Up there at clip 10, though. So, in a decent position. She's into finals. Just wasn't able to get a kick in with that right crampon. Just short as she tried to bring that right hand up onto the tool. Nevertheless, great effort from her. Great to see more questions coming in. Olya Kuznetsova, who is an athlete herself, says, Hi Liam, do you know why so few international athletes have come to Kirov? So many problems with visas? Question mark. Pity to see so few top ranking climbers compete in the World Champs. It's an interesting viewpoint. Obviously, we have plenty of athletes here. In the region of, I believe, almost 70 athletes. But indeed, we're missing some big names. We have no Swiss climbers here. We have no American climbers here. Some of that can be attributed to visa trouble. Some of it can be attributed to the fact that it's been a very, very long season. If you remember, first competition of the season, despite being in 2018, was the Combined World Championships back in Moscow at the end of December. And then we've been, as I mentioned already, to Korea, to China. We went to Switzerland, Italy, France, and the USA before coming here. A lot of these athletes don't have commercial sponsorship. They have to pay for themselves. And yeah, they prioritise perhaps the tour over the World Champs. It's also a really long way to come. Kirov is really not the easiest place in the world to get to. One must fly to one of the main hubs, such as St. Petersburg or Moscow, and then either fly into Kirov or catch the train, which is a overnight train, usually about 12 and a half, 13 hours long, to then arrive here. So, yeah, I can't say exactly why. And we do have some great athletes in attendance nevertheless. But indeed, it would be lovely to see some of the other names, like the Swiss team, like some of the other Koreans, like the US team, in attendance perhaps next time round. If you are listening and are interested in commercially sponsoring athletes, feel free to contact me directly on @LiamLonsdale, and I will direct you into how we can do that. We would love to see more commercial sponsorship for these athletes. Very deserving of it. Lots of opportunities for athletes and brands alike. Speaking of athletes, look at that pocket rocket go. Maria Tolokanina of Russia. Unbelievable World Cup season. Perfect score of 500. Won 5 of her 6 competitions. Absolutely unstoppable this year. Pop off a tricky move in Saas-Feen, low down on the route in the finals. Cost her a win there. But of course, you drop your worst result if you compete in the whole season, and so 5 out of 6 meant 500 points. Did a great interview with Maria Tolokanina along with Danny from QTV in Rabenstein, Italy. You can find that on YouTube. It's an insight into how she has been so successful and how she continues to be so successful. Go to the UIAA YouTube channel, you'll find that interview there. And interviews with many other athletes this season. You're wondering why Maria Tolokanina isn't our final athlete to climb. It's because 4 of our females in the qualifiers topped both of their qualifying routes. Maria Tolokanina, Mariam Filipova, Valeria Bogdan and Yun Shin all topped. And since we don't go off World Cup seeds in the World Champs, they were just allocated at random, I believe. Nathan Claire, next athlete in the men's competition, athlete number 13, bib number 24. Already cut loose on one hand, barely even 3 feet off the floor. Nathan Claire, a proponent of the DTS style. Look at him, he's doing it! He's doing it again. Someone tell that guy to keep his feet on. Jeepers, any excuse. Tolokanina now breezing past that ice barrel, which has cost so many athletes, or rather caused so many athletes a big problem. Musavi, Kozak, Filatova, Menina, Petkova and Dubovtseva all falling at that ice barrel into that Kukanogi plate. Keeps her weight low. Places that figure four, keeps that tool isolated and in a strong position as she takes the hook with the left hand. Clock 10 just above her. There's clip 10 made. Enemy battling currently in first position with the 10th clip made. So if Tolokanina can beat that high point, she'll go into first. Naton Claire now, you saw just briefly onto that hanging box. There's clip 11 made. First place now for Maria Tolokanina, who has 12 and 13 before the top. Right leg over right hand into the figure 9. Right leg over left hand into the figure 4. There's clip 12 made. Excellent work, and you can see the top beckoning. It's a brilliant performance, as to be expected from Tolokanina. Uses the heel hook on that hold. Up with the right hand. And there it is. Clip 13 made. And comfortably 2 tools in the top. And our first top of this semi-final for a man or a woman. Amazing work from local girl Maria Tolokanina.
Еще раз аплодисменты, друзья
Когда у
мои!
вас увеличивается скорость интернета, это легко не заметить. Просто вы перестаете ждать, пока скачиваются фильмы или отправляются
За
файлы.
спортсмена
Вот
из
если бы
Франции,
увеличилась абонентская
Андрей
плата,
Клэр
вы бы сразу
Нета.
заметили. Но она осталась прежней. А
Maria
скорость
Tolokanina, she has finished her
Домашний
attack
интернет обновляется.
successfully.
Растет скорость,
We
а не
are
цена.
cheering
Oh no, Naton Claire falls out of the ice barrel there.
Максимальная скорость интернет-канала в рамках услуги домашний интернет на некоторых тарифных планах. Подробности на сайте dom.nts.ru.
We'll have to wait and see where that puts him in the rankings. He was, oh wow, he hadn't made the clip below him either. Just got a little tangled, twisted too far on himself. Looked like he got his hand trapped actually. Nightmare. Still had so much time on the clock. See the clock in the background, he still had over 3 minutes remaining. Let's take a quick look and see where that puts him in the results. I think that's going to put him in 3rd place. We'll wait and see. Wait for those results to refresh.
Так, друзья
He
мои,
goes into
пока
5th place, excuse me.
федерации
And that was because he didn't have those clips
минус
made.
следующих наших полуфиналистов. Не
With 6
забываем,
clips
что
made, he's in
торговые
5th
ряды
place.
работают и ждут вас с ароматным чаем, восхитительным шашлыком, свежей выпечкой.
And with still 5 athletes to climb, it's unlikely that he'll make the finals now.
На женскую трассу приглашается следующая участница, представитель Российской Федерации Филиппова
Next
Марьям.
athlete in the ladies competition will be Mariam Filipova of Russia. off heat in the men's competition will be Youngun Lee, South Korea. And so Marian Filipova begins her route and appears to be sporting an interesting new look with the hair there. Did have a blue and red braid, Russian colours, earlier in the season, but now it appears the whole thing's gone blue and red. In the spirit of competition. I always like to see the athletes, male or female, and something different to support the country.
На мужскую трассу приглашается. Приглашаем? Мужская трасса, приглашаем? Еще почта. На мужскую трассу приглашается участник полуфинальных соревнований дисциплины
Reaches up with that left hand.
Ли Янгон, Корея.
High cut 3 into the next set of moves. Still a long way to go towards the top, but moving really quickly so far. Filipova now making clip number 6. Really strong now as she reaches up for clip number 8, makes that heading towards that ice barrel. Solid performance so far from Filipova. Reaches up to make clip 9. Easily takes that clip. A little bit of a tangle with that right crampon. Can she stay composed here? Yep, fixes it. Needs to just take a breath. Up with the left hand. Up with that left hand onto the Krukonogi hook. Needs to keep this momentum going all the way to the top. She still has time to do it, just can't afford to slow.
Так, друзья мои, подозрительно тихо у нас на площадке. Почему? На женской трассе Филиппова Марьям, Российская Федерация. На мужской трассе Ли Янгон, Корея. Друзья мои, одинаково болеем за спортсменов всех стран. Давайте, эмоции нужны, эмоции. Болельщики мои дорогие.
Cheers to the athletes. On the left side, you can see Filipova Mariam from Russian Federation. On the right side, there's Lee Young-gon from Korea.
Very close to the top now. Filipova between clips 11 and 12 on that Chinese stone hold. Back into the figure 9, left leg over left hand, reaches up to that next clip. There's 12, and you can see the top ahead of her. Still plenty of time on the clock. Into the Stein now by clip number 12. Just a couple more moves to go. Matches in with that left tool. Big reach with the right hand, hits it first time. Oh, she dropped her tool. What a nightmare. So close to the top as well. That will be the end of her attempt.
Женская трасса. Время закончилось.
But a great effort nonetheless. So close to the top.
И наши аплодисменты
Maria Tolokanina still ahead now.
который тоже закончил выступление на мужской трассе. Ребята, да вы должны взорваться!
Cheers to both athletes. Filipova Mariam from Russian Federation and Lee Young-gon from Korea. They both have finished their attempts.
Коля, эту штуку, страховку одну с блоком питания и какую-нибудь петлю помощнее, что-нибудь, чтобы ее прикрутить. С карабином. Я ее тоже повешу там, сказали повешать. Скорца! Я не знаю, там веревку-то надо будет еще или нет. Короче, я туда опущу этот петлю, ну это.
Питание.
Нет, это.
Блок питания ведь тоже поднимать.
Ленту-то опущу, вы там зацепите, а то она вверх залетит.
And so now, 2 more athletes remaining in the women's competition. Elena Bogdan will be our first. Placed 7th in the under-22 category at the Youth World Championship. I could only assume that we missed Young Gun Lee. Didn't see any pictures of him. Still have 4 more men remaining to climb in this competition. Mohamed Reza Saftari and Nikolai Kuzovlev, Maxim Tomilov, and Luna Ladovor. They'll be with us in just a few moments' time. If you are just joining us, a very warm welcome to the 2019 UIAA Ice Climbing World Championships in Kirov, Russia. We are live for the men's and women's lead semi-final. My name is Liam Lonsdale. It's great to have you all on board. We're looking after you guys for the duration of the weekend. If you'd like to get in touch with us here, very easy to do. You can do so using the chat box on either YouTube or Facebook, or why not, another method, you can send a message using hashtag UIAA Ice Climbing. Send me a message directly on @Liam Lonsdale. There's Valeria Bogdan in the red jacket and black pants, and there is Mohamed Reza Safdarian in the yellow jacket and red pants.
И получите скидку до 50% на оборудование.
And he wastes no time at all getting started on his route.
Bogdan Valeria from Russia is getting ready for her route.
And there goes Valeria Bogdan. Mohamed Safdarian moving those initial moves on the right hand side, Valeria Bogdan on the initial moves of her route on the left. Safdarian now approaching the hanging barrel move. Let's see what he makes of this. Reaches out behind him with the right hand into the figure 9. Starts that swing off very aggressively. Going through a full rotation, in fact. But manages to hit it. Awesome work as he makes that move onto the hook, untangles himself from the rope and straight into the figure 9. Really efficient climbing there from Safdarian. Big reacher with that right hand, and he's making good progress now. Can he keep that momentum going? Valeria Bogdan moving really well. Not quite as quick as I would have expected, but certainly not slow by any stretch as she makes clip number 7. Oh, for a big chunk of ice coming down on Safdarian there. See if we can get a better placement second time round. Bogdan reaching really high first time into the top of that ice barrel. You can see the difference between the two ice barrels. The women's are pre-drilled, the men's are not. Safdarian with a better placement there. These tools not optimized for swinging into ice, optimized for using on very poor small holds. Bogdan reaching high and leftwards. Oh, and she's popped. That Krukanogi plate just a little too tricky.
Друзья мои, наши аплодисменты Валерии Бондар.
Young Russian.
Российская Федерация
Let me
бога
just check her
мира.
place actually.
Мы продолжаем наблюдать за выступлением Сафдарян Мохаммед Резе. Мужская трасса.
Such a difficult move, that one. Climbers that have got there so far have made it look easy, but there's a Safdarian, clips number, just short, makes number 9 now. Climbing really well today, Safdarian. Qualified in 4th place for this semi-final. Into the figure 9 with the right leg over the right hand. Figure 4, right leg over the left hand. Into the Stein. And there's clip 10. Can he keep this going? Only had 1 top in the women's so far, no tops in the men's. Oh, and he's off. We'll be in 2nd place so far, definitely in the finals, but no top there for Mohamed Reza Safdarian. Great climbing. Waiting for those women's results to refresh to see where Bogdan fell on the route, where it places her. I believe it's going to put her in 5th or 6th. She will be in the finals. And there is our final female athlete, Yoon Shin of Korea, current world champion, looking to retain her title here. Let's see what she makes of this route today. Here in Kirov, topped both of her qualifying routes. There goes Jin Sun Shin. Uses the handle on that Krukanogi peg. A little bit of added friction and security.
На мужской трассе готовится к выступлению Кузовлев Николай, Российская Федерация.
Moving really quickly through these lower moves.
Друзья болельщики, у нас есть один замечательный
Nice doing the high
лозунг.
grip on that intellect hold to make clip number 4.
Соколенько!
Next male athlete out will be Nikolai Kuzovlev. Of course, he, Maxim Tominov and Luna Ledovol all finished there. Qualifiers rather with 11.25 on the first route and the top on their second route. So three-way tie for first place. Shin now climbing into the steepest section on the route. Still 7 clips to go to the top. She won here back in 2017. So far making light work of these initial moves. She reaches right leg over right hand into the figure 9. High grip with the left hand into the figure 4. And there in the bottom right of your screen is Nikolai Kuzovlev, overall World Cup winner in the men's competition. Only one person beat him all season, and that one person is not here. Yannick Glattard of Switzerland did an incredible job, taking 2 gold medals in Sasfe, his home competition, and in Denver, Colorado, season finale. Kuzovlev wins everywhere else. Clip 9 made, and she's off that ice barrel. Yunseon Shin moving very nicely into the upper section. Into that Krukanogi plate where Valeria Bogdan fell. Kuzovlev moving through that hanging barrel, or rather hanging volume section, very quickly indeed. Onto the intellect hold over the lip. Yunseon Shin approaching the top now. Still a few moves to go though. Reaches down behind her to make clip number 12. There it is. Into the Stein. She has it as a backhand. She has it as an undercut, in fact. Really solid undercut nonetheless. Up with the right hand into that yellow hold. Easily into that figure 9 over the right hand. High grip with the left into the figure 4. And there's the top. Clipped. And there's one hand. And two hands. Yunseon Shin. Second person to top this route. Maria Tolokanina will be watching very closely indeed. Biggest threat to Maria Tolokanina winning this World Championship is that lady right there, Yunseon Shin. Maria Tolokanina both successfully on the top of the women's semi-finals route. Nikolai Kozlovlev still a ways to go before he can get to the top of the men's. Struggling with the placement there in that ice barrel. Still 2 men to climb in the men's, Maxim Tomilov and Luna Ladovor. Moves with his left hand into the Stein on that green hold under the volume. Onto the intellect hold above. Just looking for the placement, there it is. Needs to make it across to that orange hole now on the other side of the gap. You saw Dengin falling here as he went dynamically. Oh, little pop there. Kozlovlev just stalled as he went for the jump. See how he fares second time round. Sticks it. Oh, he catches it but doesn't manage to hold on. No top for Kozlovlev. Interesting. Just watch that right hand closely. Launches, catches it, and then the right hand just loses grip and he slips out of that position. Will be enough to see him into finals. Isn't enough to see him on the top spot. So he goes into third position ahead of Alexei Dengin by 0.1 in the score. Ilya Kurochkin in the danger zone now. Next climber in the men's is the legend that is Maxim Tomilov, out of retirement for this World Championships. As we wait for the ice barrel to be changed, let's take a look at those women's results. In the women's competition, we have definitely got 8 finalists. Shabnam Masadi of Iran making it 8th place. 7th place, Anastasia Zdravnik of Russia. 6th place, Valeria Bogdan of Russia. 5th place, Marion Thomas of France. 4th place, Enni Bertling of Finland. 3rd place, Mariam Filipova of Russia. 2nd place, Maria Tolokanina of Russia. And 1st place, look at that, a second faster. Very, very close run there for Rin Shin of Korea. In the men's competition, I can give you provisional results so far. Eighth place so far in that danger zone is Ilya Korochkin, as is in the danger zone Nathan Claire of France. 2 more athletes to go, could bump both of those down. Then Dmitry Gabennikov guaranteed a place in finals for Russia. Alexander Karandashev for Russia, 5th. Alexei Dengin for Russia, 4th. Nikolai Kozovlev for Russia, 3rd. Mohammad Azafdarian for Iran, 2nd. And Alexei Marshallov for Russia, 1st. Look at that. So if Maxim Tomilov does manage to qualify, then he'll bump Ilya Korochkin down. And if Luna Ladovon manages to qualify, he'll bump Nathan Claire down, which will leave us with 5 Russians in the men's competition, plus an Iranian and a French, and that is quite impressive indeed. Shows you how dominant the Russians are. The Russians having so many athletes here due to the expanded quota available to them as the event hosts. We're just waiting now for the all clear. Maxim Tomilov tying in at the base of the route in all black. Great to see him out of retirement. He was route setting in Denver, Colorado. Words on the street is that he was so inspired by the style of climbing now that he wanted to come back and give it a try himself. Well, here he is. And there is Maxim Tomilov. (33 years old). Took overall titles in 2012, 2014, 2015, 2016 and 2018. Countless podiums. So many gold medals. Came out of retirement for this World Championships. Hyung Park, of course, reigning world champion, not here to defend his title. It's all to play for in this men's competition. moving confidently through these first moves. Such a tall competitor, Maxim Tomilov. Approaches this hanging volume.
Давайте, Филиппов,
See what he makes of it.
Валеев. Здравствуйте, Максим Данилов, Российская Федерация.
Finds the placement. Is he going to commit one-handed? Looks like he is. Oh my gosh, he made that look so easy. For someone that's been out of the game for an entire year, you definitely wouldn't know it. I know that he was training with Alexei Dengin. I know that he's still been climbing, but not competing. You know, it's a thing. Apparently not for Maxim Tomilov. Incredible effort. Could he be the first to top this route? It's clip number 7. Really solid stick. First time into that ice barrel. Wasn't happy with it though. Must have seen that fracture in the ice. Releases his tool and starts moving up that left-hand side now. Moves up with the left hand onto that intellect hold. And Maxim Tomilov sticks that move. That's what he's come back for. He wanted to try those dynamic sequences. He lined it up perfectly. And he did not let go when he stuck it. And now with a couple of minutes on the clock, it's all about getting to the top. He has got the time to do it. Just under 2 minutes remaining. It's like his hands were glued to the tool on that move. Makes clip number 10. 2 more to go. Will we see our first top of this men's semi-final?
Когда у вас увеличивается скорость интернета, это легко не заметить. Просто вы перестаете ждать, пока скачиваются фильмы или отправляются файлы. Вот если бы увеличилась абонентская плата, вы бы сразу заметили. Но она осталась прежней, а скорость выросла. Домашний интернет от МТС. Растет скорость.
Reaches across with that left hand.
Увеличена потенциально возможная максимальная скорость интернета.
We've not seen anyone get past this point.
На некоторых тарифных планах.
Makes clip number 11. 1 more to go. Less than a minute on the clock. Into that big hanging cube. And there's the clip. Left hand in. Right hand in. And there's the top in the nick of time. Maxim Tomilov. Undoubtedly still one of the best, even a year out of the game. The first person to top this route, and in fine style. We've seen 3 tops so far in this semi-final: Yunseon Shin, Maria Tolokanina, and now Maxim Tomilov. 1 more athlete to climb, Luna Ladovor of France. We should take a look at the men's results in a couple of moments' time and see how that has affected them. We'll wait for those scores to refresh before we bring those up. Unbelievable stuff. So let's take a look at how that has affected the results. Top 8 looks something like this. Nathan Claire of France is in 8th place. Dmitry Grebenikov of Russia is in 7th place, guaranteed place in the final. Alexander Karandashev of Russia, 6th place. Alexei Dengin of Russia, 5th place. Nikolai Kuzovlev of Russia, 4th place. Mohammad Reza Safdarian of Iran, 3rd place. Alexei Marshalov of Russia, 2nd place. And Maxim Tomilov of Russia, 1st place. 6 Russian athletes in the final, guaranteed. And now, with only Luna Ladovor remaining, there's going to be only 1 Frenchman in the final. Will it be Luna or will it be Nathan Claire? Those are the other half of the results. Ilya Kurochkin, Yungun Lee, Sergei Tarasov, Artem Bezegski, Mincho Kim, Mahdi Tagikani, Roman Kotliar and Jungkook Seo. Paulis Salminen making it 17th place. Of course, it's very likely that he'll be bumped down into 18th. Once Luna Ladovor's climbed. Let's have a look at the women's results as well, just to remind us if you haven't seen them yet. So top 8, and it's pretty much guaranteed now. 8th place, Shabnam Asadi of Iran. 7th place, Anastasia Zazdravnik of Russia. 6th place, Valeria Bogdan of Russia. 5th place, Marion Thomas of France. 4th place, Enni Bertling of Finland. 3rd place, Mariam Filipova of Russia. 2nd place, Maria Tolokanina of Russia. 1st place by merely a second. 1 second in it, Wonseon Shin of Korea. 4 Russian athletes in the female top 8. So a total of 10 Russian athletes, the possible 16 in the finals here in Kirov. Bottom half of the table.
Luna from France
Ninth place, Senab Kobra Musavi, just missing out on finals. Olga Kozak of Poland in 10th. Yulia Filateva of Russia in 11th. Dalia Menina of Russia in 12th. Radka Petkova of Bulgaria in 13th. Irina Dubovtseva of Russia in 14th. Alexandra Ovchenkova, of Russia 15th. And making up the bottom half of the table, Polina Abakarova of Kazakhstan in 16th, and Aneta Luzhetska of Czechia in 17th. Luna Ladovon on your screens in bib number 25. My lucky number. I don't know if that means anything for him though. Hopefully he can put in a performance. He qualified in first place along with Maxim Tomilov and Nikolai Kozlovlev. Very excited to see how he does. Looks like he's putting his jacket back on for a second. Judge is not quite ready for him perhaps. I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay, here we go. Shakes some blood into his arms. The young Frenchman begins his route. Look at that, Petra Klingler is in the broadcast. Hey Petra, great to have you on board. Shame that you're not here, buddy. Petra Klingler, of course, won a gold medal at this very competition back in 2015. And here goes Luna Ladovon. Onto that Krukonogi ball, moves quickly up with that position and reaches up left hand into the intellect hold. Using his hand there on that left hold. Smart move from Luna Ladovon, nice and secure, very quick and efficient to do that. Straight away into that hanging volume. Let's see how he fares on this move. Needs to find that momentum quickly. Look at that, interesting move there. Places the left foot on the hold. He doesn't quite get the swing going enough, I don't think. See how he manages with this next part of the move. The best ones on this sequence have been the ones that got the swing going early. Just short of the move. Getting that swing going with his legs. Just misses the kick. Shakes out, hanging from one hand. Ale Luna, come on. He really needs this. Starting to get a swing going now. Oh, he's got his kick in, but just swings out of it. He's really fighting so hard. And all of those swings taking so much out of the hands. You can see it's difficult to get onto his axe as well. His upper grip actually pinned against the box. Just needs to stay composed. Oh, he's an inch or two away. This is really heartbreaking because we know that this move takes so much out of the system, really takes so much energy away and fills those arms with fatigue, and we've seen so many climbers fall in here. Youngun Lee fell here, Tarasov fell here, Bezegski, Kim Min Chol, Tagikani and Roman Kotliar. So many athletes struggled with this move. And if you can't piece this together, it's game over. And it'll be Nathan Clare through to the finals, not Luna Ladovon. In his favour at least, he's very, very strong, and he's just managing to hang on for so long. See him trying to use the head of his axe to try and push away off the wall. Oh, he's hit it, look at that! A sheer stroke of luck. Determination paid off. And now he's in with a real chance of qualifying. He just needs to beat his teammate's position, Nathan Clare, with 6.18. Left hand up onto that intellect hold. Uses the left heel on the heel hook position. And if he makes that next clip, he's guaranteed a place in the finals. What an exciting finish to this semi-final. There's clip 7. Just struggling with that placement in the ice. Oh, and you see it sitting in. His figure 9 goes over his hand. Ale Luna. He's guaranteed a place in the finals now. Question is, what position will he finish in? Almost certainly not enough time to top. Just struggling there with clip number 8, leaning off that Krukonogi plate. He's got it. Now you really have enough juice left in the tank to stick this next move. Once he breaks through this sequence on the left-hand side, it's another dyno. You can see a little bit of a grimace and a half smile on the face of Ladovon. Oh, and look at that shoulder as he comes all the way around, and I think he knew that was going to happen. He's not happy, but he doesn't know that he has qualified. Great effort from the French youngster, and that will see him and that will see him through to the finals.
Потому что мы приветствуем еще раз нашего французского гостя.
That incredible moment.
Соревнования в дисциплине трудной завершены, друзья мои. У вас сейчас совсем немного времени для того, чтобы прогуляться, съесть ароматный шашлык, выпить чаю, покатать детей на
Before we sign off, let's take one more look at those results.
16:00 мы ждем вас здесь для того, чтобы вы
We go first with the women's.
скорости.
I can tell you this. 8 ladies qualified for the finals tomorrow here in Kirov, Russia. Shabnam Asadi of Iran qualifies in 8th place. Anastasia Zazdravnik of Russia, 7th. Valeria Bogdan of Russia, 6th. Marion Thomas of France, 5th. Enni Bertling of Finland, 4th. Marianne Filipova of Russia, 3rd. Maria Tolokonina of Russia, 2nd. Yun Seon Shin, Korea, 1st. Zenab Kobra Musavi, 9th place. Olga Kozak in 10th. Yulia Filiteva, 11th. Daria Manina, 12th. Radka Petkova, 13th. Irina Dubovstova in 14th. Alexandra Ovchenkova, 15th. Polina Obakarova, 16th. And Aneta Luzhetska making up the bottom of that table in 17th. Now, the men's results should have refreshed by now as well. Indeed, they have. And so let's take a look at those top 8 in the men's. Dmitry Gabenikov of Russia in 8th place. Alexander Karandashev of Russia at 7th. Luna Ladovon, we just saw him climb. 6th place. Alexei Dengin of Russia in 5th. Nikolai Kuzovlev of Russia in 4th. Mohammad Razasaf Darian of Iran in 3rd. Alexei Marshallov of Russia in 2nd. And out of retirement, amazing work from Maxime Tomilov of Russia qualifying in 1st. The bottom half of that table, Naton Claire of France in the painful 9th position. Ilya Kurochkin of Russia in 10th. Youngun Lee of Korea in 11th. Sergei Tarasov of Russia in 12th. Artem Bajetsky of Russia in 13th. Kim Min-chol of Korea in 14th. Mahdi Tagikani of Iran in 15th. Kotliar Roman of Ukraine 16th. Seo Jung-kook of Korea 17th. And Pauli Salminen of Finland in 18th. Tomorrow we have 2 sets of finals for you. Later today we will have the speed qualifiers, and following that will be the speed finals, and we'll also of course have the lead finals. Very easy to tune in. All you need to do is go to YouTube or to Facebook and subscribe to the UIAA channel, and you'll be notified when we go live. If you do that on YouTube, you'll actually see when it goes live on in your time zone. You'll see that in the graphic in YouTube. But local time for the lead finals will be 10 a.m. here in Kirov. So we'll have speed and lead. And for any other information, you can go to the UIAA website, which is the UIAA.org. That pretty much concludes our lead semi-final here in Kirov. We hope that you guys have enjoyed the show. It's been a pleasure to have you all on board. My name's Liam Lonsdale, and whatever you're doing for the rest of the day, do it safely and do it with heart. Thank you very much, and good afternoon.